Hi, JD Thomas, Business and Communication Advisor with Jade Strategic Relations, here with another, well, it's not quite a live Thursday due to a scheduling conflict and not able to do the live at our normal scheduled time. But I did want to revisit a subject I had discussed a number of weeks ago with regards to the ever prevalent idea of working from home. Now, it's getting a lot of coverage in the news media. We're seeing a lot of contract negotiations being held up. A big part of it being that people want to work from home and have it as a part of their work structure. And there's a couple of different areas which I am very hesitant about this before. I have worked from home for many times in my corporate career. Of course, as an independent business owner, I am capable of doing that myself. But there's a number of issues that people need to really, really think about when they're talking about working from home on a regular basis. And it's important to remember that although it's great because it helps save on time and gas money, clothing, and gives you time in your life, which is something that you can't necessarily quantify. But it really is important to understand some of the downfalls of it because there are a number of issues that can come up that will make it very detrimental to you as an individual and in your professional career. Now, first we'll talk about on the individual side. And I'll just reflect that there's an odd thing going on here. Post-pandemic, there was a lot of cry from parents that they needed the children to get back into school. Kids were falling behind in their grades. They were having more anxiety. They were having difficulty coping. There was a lot of social issues going on with this. And it was a big push from the parents to say, hey, my kid needs to go back to school. And absolutely, they were right. But then they went around and they immediately went to their boss and said, I need to work from home. Well, that's what's happening with people nowadays. It's happening to employees and adults who are working in the workforce. They're having higher levels of stress. They're not capable of coping with everyday things like maybe it's traffic and other and negotiating, just people walking down the street and colliding in each other's paths. There's a lot more anger. There's a lot more fear. People are falling behind in their job. Productivities are down. And it's becoming a real issue. And it's just interesting to me that there people aren't getting that correlation, that it's happening to the parents and adults as much as it was happening to children. And that's detrimental because when we don't go out and have that exposure in the workplace, we reduce our ability to manage everyday situations and our coping mechanisms starts to diminish. We end up with more cortisol, stress hormones when we go to do things that are just average everyday occurrences, getting out to go and get our groceries. These types of things can actually become more traumatic and be more of an issue when we stop having these normal interactions. Now, on a professional level, it's also very detrimental to your career. Having worked in corporate environments and small, medium businesses, and just having the ability to talk about certain things that are going on with the job with it at the office and relates to a coworker just within the confines of a cubicle. One of my positions, I was in a team and we had four cubicles back to back. So I was open space. And if we needed anything and had to just bounce an idea off of another, others were able to engage and provide the quick solution. And that helped with social abilities inside that grouping. And it also helped making sure that our jobs were done efficiently. So you lose a lot of abilities to get some of the work done and just resolve some of those challenges. The other part of it is that if you're not visible, if you're not in your office location and you're leaving yourself to just prove your work as to your worth, it's going to become very difficult to prove that you are worthy of a pay raise or a promotion or something up a higher level in the job, because you will not have had that face-to-face time to interact with the managers and the upper level structures of the corporation. And if you don't have those opportunities, you're in day-to-day operations, you're not going to get those opportunities to advance your career. So really think about the fact that they're in the work environment, you have a lot more social structure, a lot more capabilities of work to get your job done, but also prove yourself within your organization. So it sounds great, and there are lots of trade-offs. There's lots of bonuses for staying from working from home, as well as going into the office. I would recommend that you get into the office. If you're going to work from home, keep it minimum to 2 to 3 times a week, 2 times a week at most. If you're in the office 3 times a week, you're going to maintain some of those social structures. You're going to manage your stress levels better. You're going to be able to manage situations on a daily basis. It is highly important to keep these things going, especially with your career. And by the way, if you prove that you don't need to be in the office, you can also prove that the company doesn't need to hire you. They can hire someone from around the world. If your job is capable of being done by somebody who's not in the office, they can hire somebody from a place where it's a lot cheaper than you, and you're reducing your costs. The company's going to want to say, hey, we don't need to pay you as much because you don't have to work as much. It's happening. And when it comes time to check it, to look at your job and review, they may just find that it's easy to outsource you. So stay with your job, stay in the office as much as possible. Yes, there's downsides, but there's going to be far more upsides. Especially if you are the one that's showing up in the office and your coworkers aren't going, you're going to fare much better. So that's it for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in and checking this out. We really appreciate you. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers so that way we can customize the URL. And if you're interested in more information and seeing new videos when they come out, click the notification bell. And if you have questions about how to manage your business, how to hire employees, how to get your mission, vision, values, these are all things that Jade Strategic Relations can help you with. So visit us at jadestrategicrelations.com/services, and we will do all we can to help bring your business up. Great. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Take care.